The same functional democracy allows independents to contest as members of parliament. So why are political parties curbing down the increasing number of independents? Let's throw some perspective on that. And joining us tonight is Toroman Member of Parliament Sarah Pendi and Jude Byamkama, constitutional lawyer. Ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for joining us tonight. I'll begin with you, Honorable Pendi. Are you going to sign an MOU with your party not to contest just in case you lose against the flag bearer?
Well, I had that announcement yesterday through the media. We have not discussed that as NRM caucus, but also we must know that standing as independent it's one's fundamental right. You cannot take away that right. We also must understand, why do we have independence? We have independence, those who stand from the beginning as independents. But we also have people who stand by, for example, party primaries, and they come up as independents, where you do not have free and fair elections, where you have a candidate who has lost elections being declared as the winner. What do you actually expect? The fact that we have many independent members of parliament, some of whom participated in party processes and won elections, is a clear indication that we have issues with our own internal party primaries. And until we sort out and have free and fair party primaries, we shall continue having independence. There was an attempt, I remember, I think it was the last electoral reforms before the 2021 elections, where attempts were made, or was it before 2016? Attempts were made to remove independence or make it hard for one to stand as an independent, that you needed 1,000 signatures as opposed to 20 signatures for other political party candidates. That was defeated because everyone saw that standing as an independent is one's right, which you cannot take away. So,
right. So you're one of the persons who have defied the party position not to run as an independent, but you still went ahead and even won an election. Do you think that there are factors that need to be addressed through the party leadership that force individuals to run as independents and against flag bearers of their own parties?
Yeah, of course, where you have an electoral commission that is not doing the right thing, you will expect independence. I, for example, I have never been given the NRM party flag on a clean plate. I have to fight for it. Even where I have won with a margin of over 33,000 in the very first elections in 2011, I was never declared. The second time I ran and I won the elections, they declared my opponent. I tried to go to court. Court did not work because the case was fixed for, I think, April, when the elections were supposed to be in February. So I gave up that process and ran as independent after my people told me to run and that they would vote for me. And indeed, they voted for me. So, and until we clear our own internal processes and have free and fair elections, we shall continue to have independence. I, for one, will not sign that until we have discussed these matters, because I've even had some members of the Electoral Commission have actually gone ahead to threaten those who are supporting me. They are there, they are still serving as party electoral officials. So how do you expect me to sign an MOU when people in charge of elections and are threatening my supporters are still in charge of these elections?
Right.
I wouldn't sign.
Councillor Byamkama, let me come to you. By signing such an MOU or curbing down the number of independents in Parliament, isn't that what democracy dictates, that you are able to stand whether you have a political party backing you up or not?
Obviously, our constitution gives a right to anyone to stand for political office, and an attempt to limit or fetter that right by way of a memorandum of understanding between a political party and its member is something that would be violating the Constitution and the Parliamentary Elections Act, the Local Government Act. Though in principle it's not a bad idea that if an individual participates in a party primary, it is improper for them to now come out and claim to be independents. If someone is an independent candidate, ideally they should be independent from the word go. They should not have participated in any party primary. But currently the legal framework that we have, the Constitution, the Parliamentary Elections Act, the Local Government Act, the Political Parties and Organizations Act, they all provide a framework where an individual is free to go and participate in a party primary, and if they are disgruntled, to go and participate in the national election as independents. I think one way to cure this problem is to ensure that we have a better legal framework that governs the conduct of party primaries. Right now, the law is extremely permissive. Each political party conducts its primaries or selects its flag bearers in a process that is opaque.
So you're saying that there should be a uniform way of conducting primaries for all political parties,
Yes.
but you saw Noop saying that no candidate should contest against their own flag bearer if they did not go through their primaries and the debate they conducted. You saw the announcement yesterday from NRM. My question is, are these announcements from political parties complying with the guidelines of the Electoral Commission?
Of course, they do not. The Electoral Commission is generally permissive. The Electoral Commission cannot dictate as to how an individual should run. The problem that the Electoral Commission faces is that disputes over who is the rightful flag bearer. We saw it in 2021 in certain areas where one party declares a winner of a flag, and then a week later you hear they have reversed that when the Electoral Commission has already indicated someone as the rightful flag bearer. And that speaks to the legal framework. Until we have a process which governs conduct of primaries for all political parties,
these issues will persist.
It is not proper to allow political parties to conduct their internal primaries in a manner which is opaque, which generally is not acceptable before the law, and then to force people who are disgruntled with that process to not be eligible to contest for national office. So the changes that need to happen would have to be twofold.
Right.
It is permissible to change the law to bar independents who participate in primaries, provided there is a proper legal framework that governs the conduct of party primaries and addresses disputes arising out of the conduct of party primaries.
Briefly, Honorable Pendi, are you saying that for as long as internal issues within the NRM party are not resolved, you will still, if it calls for it, stand as an independent?
Of course, but we have to challenge that announcement by the Secretary General. What is the basis for that kind of announcement? We have not discussed that. We don't have it in our NRM party constitution. So what is the basis for that announcement?